Happy Monday, YouTube! We are moving into the second week of Sketchbook Habit, and I thought it would be fun to kickstart this week with a new watercolor palette. So you may recognize this from my recent Paul Rubens haul. It's a special mini palette. Oh, it's so pretty! I don't know what the official name of this palette is. If you do know, please let me know down in the comments below. Yes, this palette is just so breathtaking, but don't let that gold finish fool you. This is not a metal palette. It may be acrylic or plastic. Let's do a quick run through of some observations I made. So this palette is a little difficult to open. Once you do it a few times, I guess it gets a little bit easier. But anywho, once you finally get that palette open, you are greeted with 12 colors. These colors are repeats in pre-existing Paul Rubens palettes, so nothing new here. I did notice that in the mixing lid space, there is a little gap along the edge where the thin white piece of plastic that is kind of like the mixing tray is glued into the physical palette, and to me, I can see this being a real hassle to clean out, so it's a negative in my book, but just I don't see big puddles of water working well in this palette. While I was noticing other little gaps, I saw one in the pan tray section, and I was able to pop out the entire white tray containing all the paint pigments, and it was kind of cool how it just like pops in and out. But anyways, I am very pleased that this little watercolor tray is actually sturdy and it's not flimsy plastic that I've seen in other inexpensive watercolor palettes where it's sheer and kind of caves in if you were to apply too much pressure. So what this all means, that since it's a sturdy tray, is that you can reuse this afterwards and add your own colors. So like I previously mentioned, the colors are already available in pre-existing sets, no new colors here. This palette does come with a nifty call-out sheet with all the pigment information, plus a swatch card that is actually watercolor paper. That is so nice. The biggest thing I would like to point out in today's review is that this palette doesn't lay completely flat, and this could potentially be an issue for many painters. This kind of characteristic wasn't exactly pointed out on the product page, so I want to make sure to emphasize that today. The lid can be propped open at a 90-degree angle nicely, where the lid and the bottom part of the case will lay flat completely on the table, and it's rather sturdy. Honestly, I think this palette is more of a decorational piece rather than a functional watercolor palette, and I'm totally a-okay with that because this palette is so cute. Yeah, moving along. So while swatching out the new colors on the provided swatch sheets, I wanted to see if I would be annoyed with the lid open at a 90-degree angle. And surprisingly, I wasn't that bothered. The lid wasn't in my way, nor did the palette scoot around everywhere on my desk. It actually just stayed put. On the other hand, when I was doing the second round of swatches in my sketchbook, the palette, it did scoot it around when it was completely flat open on the table, and I found myself just being extra careful, like I was walking on eggshells, and it's not something that I enjoyed. For example, while painting, I do believe it's important to dedicate all of your mental energy on the actual artwork and not fussing over your art supplies. So that way you're not, pulled out of the whole painting process where all the magic happens. So something that I look forward in my art supplies is that they don't cause friction in my art flow and that they allow me to be fully present. I did try some various ways of stabilizing the palette, like putting a paper towel underneath or propping it on top of the sketchbook, like to minimize the gap between the table, and I didn't care for any of it. On the bright side, I am very pleased with the colors available in this set. They are quick to reactivate. They look just as great as the previous tube set that I featured on this channel, the Paul Rubens haul. I'll link that video down below, check it out. But here are the swatches for comparisons. The top row was the faulty pan set that I no longer have. On the bottom row are the new tubes, so I'm pretty pleased. Alrighty, demo art time. So today I am using the Paul Rubens 100% cotton watercolor sketchbook. I did the tight sketch in a Prismacolor color erase pencil in Scarlet. That is such a mouthful. And for brushes, I am primarily using the Creative Mark Mimic Squirrel, the little blue handles. The yellow handles are the Creative Mark Dury handles. I'll also link that video down below too. That is on my Juicy Ink channel. So I jumped into this painting using whatever colors was already on my palettes from the whole swatching stage. That was essentially the burned brown, cadmium red light, and rose red. And I just pretty much used the burned brown as like my base. And if I wanted to shift it cool or warm, I would just pick whatever respective red to do that. And for darker mixes for like the hair or for lining, I would use the Payne's Gray or French Ultramarine just to, darken things up. So how do I feel about this palette? Okay, to be completely honest, I do not plan on using this palette again after today's video. I honestly just want to use it as decoration in my office. I think it would be just so cute and I can just imagine it propped up on a little shelf, just, making my workspace cute. But yeah, all right, any hoozles. Oh yeah, so this case does come in 3 different colors, a pink, gold, and blue, and it is incredibly tempting to buy all 3 for decoration purposes. I picked up this palette on AliExpress for 16 US dollars. You can kind of find it for $20. I still think it's available for 16. I just checked as I uploaded this. This item isn't rather practical. I wouldn't travel with this palette. I think you would scratch up the acrylic casing and you could potentially actually crack the lid and you would have like glitter fluids leaking everywhere, and yeah, don't do it. I do think Paul Rubens as a brand does a phenomenal job at creating products that are aesthetically pleasing, especially this particular launch. I think they knocked it out of the park. It screams like play with me, buy me. It's so cute. If you're looking for a watercolor set with a few colors to dabble in while having super cute packaging for those trendy Instagram photos, yeah, totally pick this up. It's so fun. And for $16, the plastic case or acrylic, I don't know what it is, it's rather sturdy, it's nicely designed, it's a well-built palette for the price, and it comes with legit paints. So overall, I think it's a great deal. In my book, what makes a great art supply is that it inspires people to pick it up, especially people that have never touched art supplies before. If it hooks them in and gets them to paint, that's amazing. That's A++. That's all I could ever ask for from an art supply. To wrap up this review, I do want to mention one last small but important detail. This set does contain cadmium colors. Parents, don't let your kids eat it. And because there's really no information about this product, there's not even a Paul Rubens website that I can access from the States. My international subscribers, if you're able to find a website, link it in the comments. I will appreciate that immensely. But yes, with that said, there's very little information about Paul Rubens on the interwebs. And since the packaging is so cute, I can see how children would be attracted to it. Okie dokie, I'm gonna check on out. Thank you so much for joining me today in this review video. I hope you liked it. And if you did, please give this video the thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe because this is my new channel, previously known as Juicy Ink. Yep, that's, hey, it's me. Welcome back. Yeah, so I can't wait to see you tomorrow. I'm so jazzed for more sketchbook habit. Oh, by the way, if you don't know what this sketchbook habit is, it's a personal challenge for me to develop and build a sketchbook habit. I'm kind of out of it with my sketchbook, so this is my way of getting into the groove of things. I really do enjoy making art and videos all in one day because it gives me the chance to reflect and celebrate on the efforts I put into building something that is important to me. And Yeah, thank you for being a part of it and for making it fun. Okay. Enough of me rambling. I'll see you tomorrow. Keep on drawing. Have a fabulous day, okay? Bye.
Let her know, I gotta let her know that she my white horse, she my medical. She like my baby mama, know how to take care of me. Give my baby problems, you gon' regret